Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com. Uh, I want to talk about, it's something that I've been thinking on. And I think I'm pretty much right on it. And that's stubborn, being stubborn. And being stubborn, I am very, very stubborn. And I don't know how much of it is from birth, just being born that way, and how much of it comes from the necessity to be stubborn. And the reason I'm thinking about this is there's times that that things get really, really tough. And when it gets really tough, you have a choice. And the choice is you toughen up and you go through it. And how tough are you going to go? And how far are you going to go? Where are you going to draw the line before you finally give up? And the thing is, I've already mentioned I've got dyslexia, and that is really a whole lot more than what people think it is. Like I say, my family, I'm half Chinese, half American. Half my family's Chinese. They speak Chinese. I don't speak Chinese. I didn't speak anything until I was 5 years old. And that's when I was in school and being around other little kids all day long. At that time, I had no mother, so my only contact was school kids. My dad worked all day long, all day, all night. And so really, so what I'm saying is things were tough. Not only, so what it is, the mind is working so different that and in a normal world where everybody functions normally, I couldn't function normally. So it was difficult. And so I had to become stubborn, hard-headed. I knew it was going to be tough. Anything that I get involved in is hard. Everything. Because like I say, it's hard for me to understand a lot of things. Now I'm older and a lot wiser, and I understand a whole lot more. But when I was younger, it was really difficult. And now when I'm talking about younger, I'm talking about, 40s, 50s years old. I say, even at 18 in the Marines, there was a lot of stuff I couldn't understand. And at that particular stuff, whether you understand it or not, you have to do whatever you have to do. Like I say, in combat and stuff, that was a good example of not understanding. And but you have to do stuff, hard-headed or not. And to survive a lot of things, I had to be really stubborn. And it got to the point, and even now I'm still accused of it right now, that I'm so stubborn that I on purpose don't try to get along. And that's what they say, but it's not like I'm on purpose. If I don't understand it, as I get older and older, if I don't understand something properly, I won't go along with it. It's just, I'm sorry, I won't do it. Because I've made so many mistakes And the ignorance, my not knowing any better, got me to make these mistakes. And so that's why I've made so many mistakes. And that's why if I don't understand, I won't go along with it. And like I say, because it can get really deep. I mean, it's financial. You already hear me talk about gold and silver. And I don't use money. Money, I use very little of it. I don't. I try not to get involved in money because I don't understand it. We're right back to the same thing. It's paper, or it's worse yet, it's digits, So, and it used to be all I did was worked for money, and now I'm old, and now I'm getting some of the Social Security that I paid in. I'm starting to get back now, and so now, and it's coming back to me in digits, and I don't understand how these digits work. That's why I convert my digits over to more gold and silver. And because, like I say, okay, yes, I can change the digits into dollars, in which I don't understand dollars, because to you, maybe dollars has some kind of value, but right down here, like the lady that just walked by, if I gave her dollars, she wouldn't know what to do with it. So dollars, and it would have no value to her at all. Even though she doesn't know the value of gold and silver, she'd be happy to have some gold and silver. But the dollar would be, she would politely take it, but she wouldn't know what to do with it. So that's what I'm talking about on not understanding. And as long as you stay in one little rut, and then you can understand everything. But you get out of that rut, it starts getting difficult. Like I say, even down here, like I said, when I first moved down here, and even now I don't speak the language, so it's difficult to communicate with everybody. All righty, come here.
See.
Okay, all righty. Going to go eat. And so I realize things are going to be difficult. Getting in a rut, I don't get much ruts. About the only rut that I get into is when I get into a position where I can rest and relax. Here at the hotel, I can just take life easy. That's it. And when I'm at the ranch, just feeding cows, hey, doesn't get much easier than that. That kind of stuff is simple and easy to understand. Even here, I understand it, So trying to learn and understand the system is where I have the problem. And once I leave this system, it gets difficult. And I know it's going to be difficult, so it's no big deal. So I've learned to function, in difficult times. So being hard-headed really does make a difference. Okay. Dolor?
Auto.
Oh! On a bicycle? Whoa! Yeah, on a bicycle? Or what? Bicycle. See? Ooh. Okay. See, you got hit by a car. This is what I was talking about. I mentioned it before. That he was on a bicycle and he got hit by the car. And I mentioned it before on another video. This taking personal responsibility, that falls under being hard-headed. That's why being stubborn and hard-headed, I'm taking personal responsibility, and bam, I don't know how many mistakes I've made, and I have to pay deep for it. And it's the same thing. Was it his fault? I don't know. And it doesn't make any difference. He's suffering, he's hurting. And that's what I tell people. In the United States, everybody's looking for liability. It's always somebody else's fault. I mean, you can profit when it's somebody else's fault. That's why everybody's got insurance. No, I don't have any insurance. I don't have nothing. Because I take personal responsibility. I don't want nothing from you. And if you think you're going to get something from me, you're not. So I don't have nothing. I'm not in the world like everybody else. And like I say, but it's not an easy life. It's a tough life, and that's what a lot of people don't realize, because people are looking for things that are easy. And for me, I know it's not going to be easy. Like I say, I'm the same thing. I'm preparing to go back to the States. An 8-day drive. And it's going to be an adventure, but that's just part of it, and it's going to be a little tough. So being hard-headed and being stubborn is good if you can control it. You don't, and I'm wondering also, as children, if we torment and tease children, are we making them stubborn? I wonder about it, because on dogs, like I say, I've been doing a little bit more with dogs and stuff like that, and I noticed the younger dogs, if you torment them, you're going to make them mean and nasty. And I wonder if that's what being stubborn was going to do. It was going to make somebody a little bit more mean and stubborn. And so maybe you were tormented when you were younger and you're mean and nasty now. That's one falls under one of those crosses we got to bear. And like I say, so what? Now you're grown, you take the responsibilities for yourself, and don't be so mean and nasty. So, but there's a reason. There could be a pretty good reason why people get stubborn, and it might be because they're getting teased when they're little. So we may want, I don't know. I'm not some child psychiatrist, psychologist, or stuff like that. I don't know nothing about it. But I do know when life is tough, you got to get tough. You got to get stubborn, and you got to do what you got to do. This is Mike. NoStressMike.com. This is a PS on the. I don't know. I haven't edited the video yet, but I don't know if you saw the guy that got hit by a car. I was talking to him, but I don't remember if I showed him on there or not. But anyway, what happened? He was on a bicycle, and he got hit by a car. His legs all bummed up, and I'll tell you, this is the thing that I don't quite know how to explain, but now I carry extra money, and I talked about whatever country I'm in, I have extra money that I carry in case I run into somebody. And then, and I've already mentioned, you don't run over a kid. You don't kill a kid. That's the last thing you do. You kill a kid, man, you got big problems. But I would give him money. If I run into somebody, I'd give them money, and then make sure they're okay and send them away. And the reason is they have socialized medicine. I mean, like I say, these are socialist countries, if not communist. Some of the countries down here are getting more and more communist. And when I say communist, in other words, the government gives them work. People aren't even motivated to go find a job when they're communist. When they're socialists, they still work some. And but they get hospitalization is free, like Obamacare. So then you can start running into people, and then you run into them, and you just give them some money, and you just go on. I don't know if it's legal or illegal to run into people. I don't know, but I do know that's how you handle it, and how much. Now, normally, I'm sure it varies different places. In the United States, if I was to hit somebody, I'd probably, I don't know, maybe give them $1,000 cash and go on down the road. It's no big deal. Especially now with Obamacare. A lot of it depends on, if they're hurt or not, if they're really hurt. And so, well, I say, around down here, normally $100 in their money, U.S. dollars, but converted over to their money is normally what I would give. Now, I haven't hit any person, so I'm not quite sure how you would do something like that, other than just what I just said. Now, like I say, I've got in a couple of wrecks. Well, not really a wreck. I bumped into somebody and just gave them a little bit to, buff it out and clean it up and stuff like that. So, but so I'm not quite sure if it, and that's morally, I'm not sure how that stands morally. The one thing is, at least I'm there. Hey, hola. At least I'm there. Most people do hit and runs down here, and that's more than likely what happened to him. He was on the bicycle and somebody just hit him, and they just went on down the road. That's normally what happened. Now, at least I'm going to give them a little bit of money for the pain and misery they're going to go through. But like I say, I'm just talking about just not really big time hurt. But anyway, I just thought I would kind of mention it because it did happen, and I thought it was kind of, for us, it's an everyday kind of thing. I mean, I don't know how many people have been hit by cars down here, and I've mentioned you don't want to be one of them. I mean, I don't care whose fault it is; it doesn't make any difference. You're screwed up after you get hit. But anyway, I thought I'd mention it. This is Mike, NoStressMike.com.